I've written to all the security agencies. I've written to major embassies. I've written to the American embassy. I've written to the British embassy. I've written to the French embassy, German embassy. And I've warned that you cannot make the mistake of installing an unconstitutional president in Nigeria.
That's right.
It would have been better that you resolve this question that we brought before the court. We are not saying that the question must be resolved in our favor. We brought the question here to be resolved. We have a right to have the question resolved. Like I always say, hearing belongs to me. Decision belongs to the court. You understand? So, you cannot make the mistake of installing somebody unconstitutionally. It's an overthrow of the Constitution. That person, now if you read section 1 subsection 2 of the Constitution, it says, no person or group of persons shall be permitted to take control of the federal government or any part of it, take control of the division or any part of it, except in accordance with the Constitution. That section invests every Nigerian with authority to resist whoever is sworn in.
That's right. Yes.
Contrary to the Constitution.
That's right.
Every Nigerian in every station of life,
yes,
wherever he is,
that's right,
that is an order from the Constitution to that person to resist whoever is sworn in unconstitutionally. So it must be that those who want to do this swearing in have conspired against democracy.
that's right.
And want to overthrow it.
Yes.
The Constitution says, section 14, subsection 2A, that sovereignty belongs to the people of Nigeria.
That's right.
And they give consent to those who govern through the Constitution. So where you do not observe the Constitution, it means that you don't have the consent of the people to rule. The people have a right to say, we are not going to recognize you or acknowledge you. What is coming to Nigeria is what these people, they are behaving like children. As far as I'm concerned. They are behaving like children. We all saw Shoneko here. Somebody went with a decree or word of mouth, made somebody president and commander-in-chief. A court, it took just one declaration from a court, and it was gone. It's the same thing that we are, the same thing that we are getting into. Any court in Nigeria is invested with authority to interpret the Constitution and can say that the person who calls himself president was not duly elected and therefore cannot answer that title and cannot give any instructions that should be obeyed. And that would be the beginning of crisis. We have warned against this. I don't know what is making them behave, think that it's a joke. I don't know how you will take 200 million Nigerians as a joke. You know, it's not going to happen. The Constitution says you go and have a second election. But you feel too big. Like I was explaining to someone, it is same in discipline. Where you have red light, say stop.
That's right.
You feel too big. Because you are driving your Jeep, you don't stop. It's the same thing. That is, it is the discipline in us that we have carried over to this exercise. The Constitution says, you've not made it. You've not made 25% in Abuja. Nobody has told me that I'm wrong. There is no constitution, there is no court. I came to this court for the court to tell me that I'm wrong.
That's right.
Rather than telling me I'm wrong, the court, stays away from courts.
News.
The court cannot even look me in the eye.
One thing I have discovered in this Nigeria, especially among the politicians, they are too overconfident. They have this full confidence that forget nothing they happen. If they do anyhow, they see anyhow. And that's why you hear majority of their supporters will say, go out there. If they burn you, will go out that day. They will just delete you. Because that is exactly what they are known for. That if they try to do anyhow, we are going to bring out all the security apparatus. And meanwhile, all those ones say, now go there here, they know here come. Even they are even the beneficiary of the suffering that we are going through today. They are all suffering. But they will do exactly what they really want them to do. So that is the confidence they have, that irrespective of anything, that they are still going to skate through. But the way things are going, this overconfidence that these politicians have I hope it will not turn to something else. Do the right thing. They said no. Somebody was telling me that all these things had been concluded even before election. Do you know a lot of meetings that they have been holding here and there? They have been holding meetings here and there. And meanwhile, they are looking for other people's conversation. But if we are to have opportunity to dig at what they have been saying, the secret meeting they've been having here and there, Nigeria will burn. They have the effrontery to say no, this and that. We are not going to do that. Interpretations upon interpretations, interpretations upon interpretations, and you begin to like, to what end with all this? To what end? So like this thing that we are taking like joke like you. Some people have already made up their minds. You know what? Let them be. Some people are saying, no, it cannot be. Oh, let us move on. Let us move on. Let us move on. One thing is that when people who are saying let us move on, if it is not in their favor, you will see them speak like those who are speaking now. So if we cannot obey the simple constitution or simple law, then I'm really afraid. Of course, the whole thing has been going on since 1960 after the independence. At the end of the day, the situation is getting worse. Situation is getting worse day by day. It's getting worse. And the more they are getting worse, and the same people who have been in a position of authority since time immemorial, they are still the ones. It's like they have mastered the whole thing, and the new generations as well, majority of them have yielded to their antics, their tactics, and all manner of things. Those ones, they don't even have a majority of them don't even have a what it takes to be able to argue, because when you talk of education, when you talk about infrastructure, majority of them don't even know what good life is all about. And when people who have been there start telling them this is how it is possible we do this, it's possible we do that, it's not as if it was better then, but we are supposed to be growing, but things are getting worse. When those ones are telling them this is how it used to be, they say forget it. How do you want me to believe? You know that in life now, sin is believing. Before you can believe somebody, you have to see the elements of truth or elements of reality. But the new generation don't even have it. Majority of them don't have it. We still have few ones who are like, okay, you want to tell me that it happened, and one, two or three people are testifying to that. Some people were like, okay, it could be true. Because even if it is not happening in our own land, it's happening elsewhere. Good governance happening elsewhere. But they have made us to believe that it cannot be possible in Nigeria, which is live from the pit of hell. That is it. So guys, let's hear your opinion and have your take on this. Thank you.